God, you call me.
Okay, so I live with my aunt. My father is not present. You don't know what he's doing in his life. I still pray for him though, because you literally never know what somebody is going through. So I do still pray for him. But like I never really. We probably had like a conversation when I was younger that I can remember one time, but that is okay. So I don't really know him per se. And my mom struggles with addiction. My mom, her mom, and her mom. Like it's like this generational thing until now with addiction. And so she wasn't never really like, in my life, like on the important days and stuff like that. So growing up, I went to the church every Sunday. It was nice. Like it was a nice experience. Like I never mind going to the church. So I believed in God because my family believed in God. That's what I knew. So that's what I believed in. And I would always pray to him that my mom would get it together. That's literally what I would say. And it was like every single day. When I woke up, every time I thought about it, when I laid down, like that was the one consistent thing that I would actually pray to him about. Like I would be like, okay, thank you just for waking me up. I pray my mom get it together, So that was my one consistent prayer. And so that's really like all I knew. Like it wasn't all I knew, but it was all I knew like to pray for, because yeah. So in school, very active in school, sports, step, academics was on it. Like you would never know that both my parents was in my life, because so many people, first of all, I didn't really tell people, like, that wasn't really never the topic of discussion. But I feel like so many young people actually are affected in a negative way by their parents. Sometimes one, but let alone two, by their parents not being in their life at all. Like me and my mom actually are tight. Like we're really cool, so I am thankful for that, and we can talk about anything, so I'm very thankful for that. But I know some people don't have a relationship with their mom or their dad like at all, like zero communication, and they really like that really affects a lot of people, and it affects everybody in different ways. But some people really lash out, and some people really let that dictate how they're gonna act and what they're gonna do in life, and I just wasn't one of them. So I never felt the feeling of abandonment. I never felt like it was my fault. I never felt rejected. And I didn't realize that when I was younger, but I realize that now. Like I really never felt those things. And I think a lot of that plays a role in the family that God placed me in. With them, I don't see how with my family, I never, they never made me feel some type of way or nothing. They were just really a loving family, and I felt cared for. It wasn't that I felt cared for, and I wish it was coming from, I would wish that it was coming from my mom, like all that was coming from my mom, and that she was here for me. But I mean, you get it how you get it. Like, think about it, and I would want all that to come from, and that attention stuff to come from my mom and her to be present in my life. But I mean, I never let that tear me down. I never let that dictate who I was gonna be and what I was gonna do and what I was gonna accomplish. But I continue to pray for her. So really, the one feeling that I did feel was disappointment. It's always like a constant thing of doing good and then thrown off, doing good and then thrown off, doing good and thrown off, and then we'll do good for a long period of time, and then out of nowhere, I don't hear from you at all, for a long time. And that would always throw me for a loop and knock me off. But I continued to pray. I felt like that was all I could do. I just prayed. I prayed that she was okay, and I prayed that she was safe. And that's what I would continue to pray. So the disappointment feeling did come a lot from the inconsistency, but it never lasted too long. I would sometimes wonder like why. I was grateful for my family, but I would wonder like why, and I love my mom, but I would wonder why it had to be me who had to have a mother, like, who wasn't present, I always wondered. I would never ask God. I would think it, but he know everything, so it was like he knew I was thinking it. So yeah, I would always like wonder like why why it have to be me? Like, why do I have to be the one who don't have, you know, her mom in her life? Really, I know now why. Like, I know since I know now why. I know a lot of things now. Why? I know a lot of things. Why it happened, and why it had to be me, and that was pretty much it for real. Growing up, like, I was a happy child. I was, you know, like, I would have like times where I was a little sad at nighttime because I want to talk to my mom, but I mean, it was okay. I was never like this. I was never like mad at my life, or, you know, it was one time where I was really mad at the man. I was mad at God, and I had blamed him. But that's a story for another day, because I learned something from that, and now I'm good. So yeah, I would talk to him, but it wasn't like how I do now. Like, it wasn't like tight. Like, you know, it was just like a wake up in the morning, pray before you go to sleep, pray before you eat, say your grace, you know. And I was going to Bible study too. And I would always try to like be like, I would like be like, okay, I'm serious now. Like, I'm on it. Like, I'm getting on it. Like, I'm getting on my Zoom, right? So I would have my Bible. I'll be watching my videos. I have so many journals that I just started and like never completed, like so many of them, from always restarting and saying okay, like, you know. So I just felt like every time I felt that feeling of, dang, like, God really has been here for me. Like, I've never been, with all that go on in my life, and the main pieces, like the main pieces of life that you wanted, your mother and your father, with all that being gone, I'm still here. Like, you know, like, I accomplished a lot of things. I'm talented. I'm smart. Like, thank you, Jesus. Like, every time I would just feel that heavy, I'll be like, okay, I'm finna start reading my Bible. I'm finna start writing in my journal. I'm finna start watching my videos, praying daily, you know. And it never really stayed. Like, consistency was not a thing. Like, it really wasn't at all. And I was like, okay. Every time, and it was like I would always be distracted. Like, I would always get distracted. Like, every single time I would get distracted. And it didn't even bother me that I was like thrown off. Like, it didn't even bother me that I was thrown off. The one thing that I said I was gonna do, I said I was gonna get consistent and like be reading my Bible and get into my word and everything. It did not bother me at all that I didn't. It didn't. And that was crazy. Looking back, that was actually crazy, because like, you know, that was crazy to me. And then I would just start right back up and start right back up and start right back up. Are we seeing a pattern? We're seeing a pattern. So I would literally do that, and it didn't bother me, and I would just go on, continue with my distraction, and call it a day. And then out of nowhere, every single time, out of nowhere, I would get this feeling of sadness, and like, I don't want to say depression, but it wasn't like no long-term depression, like sad in the corner, not eating. It was never that, because one thing about me, I'm gonna eat. But yeah, it was never like that type of depression. It was just like sadness and not knowing what's going on, and like, why are you so sad? And then you start thinking about other stuff. I started thinking about my mom, and I started thinking about this other stuff, and then I just add on just crying at nighttime and not even knowing, like, you know, the real reason why. And so it was that a lot. It was like that for a couple years, I would say, really. And I really just experienced that in high school, because I was only really making those decisions in high school. Like, middle school, I was just living life, waking up, praying before I go to sleep, praying, and just living life, like just living. And yeah, and so that's what it was like for a very, very, very long time. And then, as of the last time that it happened, which was the beginning of this year, 2023, it happened. And I was just like, man, like, I don't know, because all that inconsistency was not right for me. And I was just going with the distraction, and then once that was over, I'm done, you know? So it was kind of like that temporary pleasure. One day I was literally, like, I was really just in the bed. I was just sitting down and I was sad, and I was like, dang, like, what's really going on? And so I was on TikTok and the video just came up, and it wasn't really speaking on my situation, but it was a gospel video. It's relevant because it was a gospel video. I'm over here wondering why I'm sad, this and that and that and this and that. Girl, talk to your maker. Talk to him. Talk to the one person you know has been listening to you your entire life. So I was like, girl, let me talk to him. That TikTok just reminded me, like, are you serious? Like, you really got somebody to talk to. You really got somebody to tell you what you need to be doing. And you sitting here sad and dwelling, right? So I just was I was praying. I was like, Lord, I don't remember verbatim what I said, but what I do know is that I made a decision in my heart, like in my heart. I don't know how it led to this, but I made a decision in my heart to just say yes. Like, I'm gonna stop living worldly. Like, and I wasn't even doing nothing bad. I wasn't necessarily doing anything bad, but was I glorifying the Lord? Was I glorifying God? So I was like, you're right, heart. Like, I'm literally sitting here talking and thinking to myself and to God, like, I'm gonna make a decision and I'm gonna actually change. Like, I want everything that you say I can have. I want to do everything that you say I'm gonna do. Like, I want to stick with your plan. I want to go by your way of life, because clearly my way of life is not getting me. Like, nothing is like consistent, nothing is full term, you know, like nothing is nothing. So I'm sorry that I don't know where it came from, but like nothing is going, like, you know, it's like in life things was going well, but in my heart, in me, my feelings emotionally, what was really going on? Nobody knows. Nobody. This is it. I'm giving my life to Jesus. I'm letting him handle it, and I'm gonna just follow him from now on. Like, this is what I'm doing. So I gave my whole yes to Jesus, and you know what I did? I started up that journal, and that journal has been consistent ever since. And I started in the same journal that I was still writing in 2022. The one I was on, off. When I tell you them, I look back at them dates, gapped. It was, child. So this is literally the journal that I started June 2022, right? I went to Proverbs 19 and 20. Excuse me. And so I was just writing down different notes that I got from. Felt changed in the moment. And I knew this time it was going to stick, because I was so genuine about my yes. Like, I was so serious about it. And since I said yes, I know now why it had to be me. I know why I was feeling sad. I know why. I was clearly placed here for a reason, because like I said, there are so many people who have neither parents and let that dictate their life, and just let it just take over and let that determine who they're gonna be. So many people feel so lonely. So many people feel so abandoned, rejected. A lot of people feel like it's their fault that their parents are in their life. Like, they did something, like an unborn child did something to their parents. And I didn't. Clearly that was for a reason, because now I'm here today to tell people that there's more to life. Like, you don't have to let that be the determining factor in what you do in life. You don't have to let that take over how you act and what you do and what you turn out to be. You don't have to be like that. He helps you see that, and he helps you see that there's hope and that you are your own individual person. Yes, you were born to this family. Yes, there is a mother that he placed you with. Yes, there is a father that he gave you. He know what he doing before he do it. Okay? So it's just time for us to come on and get with it. You don't have to be on drugs. You don't have to be doing alcohol. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to have temper issues. You don't have to live your life how everybody else is living it around you. You were placed in your family to be set apart. Did y'all pick up on the inconsistency with addiction? Me seeing so much falling off, getting back on, falling off, getting back on, yet here I see, like, I have a prime example. She doing good, and then she fall off, and then like maybe a month or no, usually it was a couple weeks, but one time it was like 2 months. I was like, oh my God, like my heart. But if she would call, I would hear it in her voice, the sadness. I would hear it, and it was like I seen the whole process. I think differently. I walk differently. I always been a confident person, but I have a whole new confidence in Christ. Like, I know who I am in Christ. I know what he says about me. I just wanted to share that, and I just wanted to show that just because you might not have your parents, you might not have your mom, you might not have your dad, but you literally have your God. Like, he's like, when you really sit back and you think about it and you feel it, he really is the one that matters. And yes, we all want our parents in our life. Yes, I want my mama to be here and I can go to the next room and talk to my mom. Yes, I want her to be present. But it's okay. At the end of the day, you need to know who you can turn to. And yeah, I'm very blessed and grateful to have the people in my life that I do have. That was it. I really pray that this encourages somebody going through something similar or even something different. And I think that's it for today.